up your engine! Well, people are often asking me about Audis. Oh, they're beautiful looking cars. Do they run good? Is it a good car to buy? Well, I'm going to dispel the myth of Audi supremacy with this absolute pile of junk 2011 Audi A4 2.0 4-cylinder turbo that a customer got suckered into buying. The customer was owed money for work he did. Guy wouldn't pay him. Owed him thousands of dollars. But then he says, I got this Audi here and it's worth $14,000. If what I owe you when you give me $6,000, $7,000, I'll give you the car. So the guy does. First, big mistake right there. Now, he didn't know me at the time, so he took it to various other garages who screwed him over, had him sit for months, and it never ran right, so he towed it over here. Gives me the key, and when I try to start it, when I put in the stupid keyless ignition, nothing happens. There's no lights. So, I'm going to have to jump it. And it's problem number 2. We got to jump start the battery. So we open the hood, over we go, we'll open the hood, and guess what? There's no battery under the hood to jump start it. Now the battery's in the trunk, but there's no key and nothing to open the trunk with. Oh, but look, there's a button you push to open the trunk, but the battery's dead, so the trunk won't open. This is a true catch-22. You gotta jump start the battery in the trunk, but the battery's dead, so you can't get into the trunk. Brilliant Audi engineers, they thought of everything to lock you out of your own car. And I got a jump pack, and there's a positive terminal under the hood I can hook it up to. As you look, there it is, positive. Hook that up to the positive. Now we got power to the positive, and we'll put the negative over here on this nice post. That's what it's made for. There, and we'll turn it on. We got 85% battery power left. So let's go back and pray we push the button, the trunk opens. Success! Aha! Now we can get to the battery. Oh, there's no battery. Oh, there's not even a battery in the car. No wonder it didn't start. Like I said, this baby's been to 2 or 3 different mechanics, didn't know what they're doing, screwing around. So now we'll put a battery in and go from there. Well, at least you can't blame Audi on this one. They do put batteries in when they make them. This is negative ground because it bolts to the frame. And the other side says positive. So that means this one's the negative. We'll hook it up. So we'll put the negative on and tighten it up. 10 millimeter. That's tight. And we'll do the other side. Let's pray I can start it up and pull it in the driveway and figure out what's going on with this clunker. Well, here goes nothing. Well, unfortunately, that's what we got. Nothing. The engine won't even crank. It just clicks. Well, let's check the battery. Now, the customer supplied the battery, so let's see if that's a piece of crap, too. At least it opens the trunk. It's got that much power, so let's hook up the battery tester. Positive to positive, negative to negative, and we'll test it. This particular one has 900 cold cranking amps, so we'll set this for 900 cold cranking amps. So it's 900, and we'll test it and see what happens. It's testing it. Says it doesn't have much. Isn't that typical? So we're going to try to jump start it. It's supposed to have 900 cold crankings, it's less than 500. So we're going to jump start it, see if that helps. So we'll get out the big guns. As you can see here, this baby can do 200 amp engine start, which is what we're gonna do. Click, click. So we'll just hook the cables up, positive to positive, negative to negative. But now plenty of power, we'll let it go about 5 minutes with this. Then we'll go back inside, see if the stupid thing will start. Cross our fingers this time. Nothing, same clicking. It just clicks, but it doesn't start. Which I kind of thought anyways, because even with 500 amps out of the 900, it should have cranked the engine. The engine won't even crank. This is one pile of junk. Now, since all it does is click, either the starter's not working or the engine's locked up. So let's go under and check. So what we're gonna do is get a long extension bar and sockets and see if we can turn the engine over by hand. So we get the socket and we're sticking it on the front of the crank. The crank's right here. And we're going to try to turn it. And what? No, the engine is locked up. So there's no point in going any further. I can't spin the engine because the engine's locked up. Pile of junk. Man, did he get ripped off. Now, I do have to say I was wrong when I called this a rolling pile of junk because it doesn't roll anymore. It's just a pile of junk. So we'll close the trunk for one last time. When you see A4 2.0T, that's 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine. Don't walk away, run away from one of those cars. I have never seen a used one that didn't burn oil or have the engine lock up. In this case, the engine's completely locked up. But when I checked the spark plugs, they're coated with oil, so it was burning oil before it blew up. But now it's locked up entirely, and basically, this beautiful looking car, I gotta say, it's black and shiny, nice interior, but it's pretty much worth salvage value. Now, they are marvels of modern engineering when they actually work and run and are zippy with their turbos, but when the engine's locked up, they are just a pile of junk. So goodbye, Audi. I feel sorry for the guy who got it. Somebody owed him thousands of dollars. Then he made my customer pay him thousands on top of that to take this car that's now worth maybe $500 now. This is not unique for Audis. It's actually quite typical for one that's 10 years old. And you might say, Scotty, it's only got 87,000 miles on it. Well, in this case, that's all she wrote for this Audi with a little bitty 2-liter turbo that the engine said, I think I can. Gee, I guess I can't. But at least now, understand, run away from these cars, especially used. Do not take them as payment for a debt where you have to give people money too. Now, he probably would have never gotten money out of the guy in the first place. So if he would have gotten a car for what was owed, at least it wasn't the insult that he gave him extra money for this rolling, or should I say, stationary piece of junk. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Kitchen Pete 1 says, I'm looking at either an 06 Chevy HHI with 172,000 miles or a Jeep Compass with 198,000 highway miles. Which would you buy? He also says that they're both around $2,000 and I tested them and they ran okay. Personally, I would buy neither of those vehicles. The HHI was a rolling pile of crap and so was the Jeep Compass. It's your thing. Now, you do say here, I noticed, the Jeep Compass has 198,000 highway miles. If it's really highway miles, buy the Jeep then. The Chevy's an absolute pile of junk. And if the Jeep has highway mileage, mainly, 200,000 highway mileage is equivalent to like 20,000 miles city driving, stop and go. So if it is, what the heck? And some of it has to be highway miles because I've never seen a Jeep Compass go 198,000 miles city driving. If it's city driving, they fall apart long before 100,000 miles. So what the heck? I wouldn't buy either because they're both not that great vehicles. But if it really is highway miles and a mechanic says it's okay, go ahead. You're only spending $2,000. What do you have to lose? You're not stupid. You're not going out and buying a new one for a fortune and then find out it's worth nothing when it's a few years old. So what the heck? But truthfully, I wouldn't buy either of those vehicles. Neither's very well made. Claire Harris says, I got an 09 Charger. It's stuck in theft mode. Well, it's in theft mode. It means you got a problem with your theft system. Pray you got extra keys. In my drawers here, what do I have? Extra keys for my cars. You know why? Because eventually your little key module is going to break and the anti-theft stuff won't work anymore. Your car won't start. If you have a known good one in your drawer, great. Then you can go drive it. And then you know what you do? You drive your car to the nearest locksmith and say, okay, my old key broke. Here's my new one. It works. Make me a copy of this while I'm here with the car. Some cars he has to get in your car, plug in stuff, and reprogram it for another key. But he can make you another key, program it, and it works. Then you put that one in your drawer. Then you got a spare. You always want to have a known good spare because in modern cars, if you only have one key and it either breaks or you lose it, sometimes you end up having to even replace the computer in the car. It costs a fortune. If you have one that works and have a good spare that works, then at least you know, oh, mine broke, the spare works now, great. I'll drive with that, then I'll go get another one made. You always want to have at least two good ones somewhere. One on your keychain, one in a drawer. Mark my words, listen to me, do this. And as time goes on, it's going to be even more expensive probably to repair them if they go bad on any new car. I've seen some of these Priuses, if somebody loses their key and stuff, some of them spend over $1,500 having it done over. You don't want that to happen just because you don't have a key that works. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.